Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Taking you behind the curtain, it's the Joan Hamburg Show. Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Ramin Karimloo is starring on Broadway now in one of the most waited for revivals, the one and only Funny Girl at the August Wilson Theater, and he plays one of all of our favorite roles. He is the gorgeous gambler, the con man, yet he's got a heart and a sensitive soul. He's the one and only Nicky Arnstein, and we're so happy you're back on Broadway, and I'm sure you're getting a big kick out of it too, although 8 shows is a lot.
I have to say it's great to be back, but it's one of the most fulfilling roles I've got to play. So although 8 shows a week is, quite the commitment for any role, it's a joy. I'm just having a blast every night, and really grateful to be part of it.
Right. Well, I'm really glad. And it was interesting when I was reading all the background that before you got this role, Barbra Streisand was she working in London? And she asked you to sing a duet with her, which was rather extraordinary anyway, and that's before all this started happening.
That's correct. It was it was just a call out of the blue from our director, Richard J., and he said, Barbara wants to sing with you. And it was so surreal that you couldn't even comprehend it. And there I was rehearsing with her, with Barb, and Lionel Richie was hanging out with us. I'm like, what is
You're
happening
kidding.
right now? And the stories
right.
they were telling, I remember thinking to myself, please don't look my way, because I have no anecdote to add to your story about Otis Redding and the Temptations right now. Just let me listen. And then after singing with Barb in Hyde Park, it was probably within 3 to 4 weeks later, I get this offer for Nicky Arnstein. I was like, oh, that's what a
coincidence.
Yeah.
But you didn't even have to audition. I mean, even the biggest stars audition, but obviously they were watching you, and this was it.
Who knows? I'm never above auditioning, but if there's a way of not doing it, great, because my nerves always get the better of me. So it worked out perfect.
Every actor.
Yeah. I'm just glad they had that faith in me to hopefully be delivering the story of Nicky Arnstein every night in Funny Girl.
And was Beanie Feldstein cast in it already when they approached you?
I don't believe she was then, but then everything got
pulled together,
sort of sidelined as well because of the pandemic. So to be honest, I just thought the whole production may have folded by that point because so much time had passed, and I ended up doing some other things in other productions. And then when they said, oh, we're going to do it again, it's coming, Beanie Feldstein's Fanny Bryce, I was like, that's fantastic. What a great choice that is. And then everything moved very quickly at that point, and here we are, thankfully.
Right, and you had done a lot of theater. Phantom, which I read when you were a kid or young, very young, you had seen that so many times, you were like obsessed with that. And then, of course,
it was like education. Colm Wilkinson, who was the Phantom, had such a unique voice. The story was phenomenal. Those were my years between 12 and maybe 17 that I kept frequenting the show in Toronto, because I remember thinking, I want to do that. That looks like fun.
Well, which is interesting. How old were you before everyone recognized, like your family, school, friends, that you were gifted with this incredible voice?
Well, it's very kind of you saying that, but it's something I didn't really share too much. In high school, my friends only knew me when I was in rock bands, so I think hopefully they enjoyed watching that, but I don't think anyone thought, there's a singer.
Sing.
Who knows? Because it's something I never really considered either. When I thought I want to play the Phantom or be in shows. I never thought I want to sing those shows. I want to be those characters. I wanted to act those characters. Singing was just something you had to do to play those characters. I never thought about it as go be a singer.
So when did I'm a singer hit you, whether you wanted it or not?
To be honest, I don't know if it has hit me. All I know is these roles require me to sing, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy, telling the story of Nicky Arnstein, playing that arc every night. And music is just an extension of the emotion. That's the way I see it. I don't think I'm at all an established singer or a prolific singer or even necessarily a good one. I enjoy singing from the heart, and these characters, sometimes words aren't enough, so they put their body, they put sound, and it's another way of
have to sing it. Yeah, but you're a really interesting Nicky, because we're sort of torn with Nicky. He's not a bad guy. He really loves Beanie. He loves Fanny Brice. But he does all these things, but there's something about him that touches your heart, and that's the way you've developed him.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad you say that. Obviously, Nicky Arnstein in real life was a bit of a different cat, and, it would be a different conversation if we were playing that story. But the Nicky Arnstein in Funny Girl that the audience sees, I think you're absolutely spot on with your assessment of him. He was, sure, he probably had a darker circle of friends or colleagues around him, but he was doing the best he knew with what he knew, and he certainly genuinely loved Fanny Brice, and I think he found an authenticity in her and what she brought to his life that no money, no facade, none of that could buy. And I think that's ultimately what he probably couldn't handle in the long run. But he was, I think he was a good guy. Flawed.
Yeah, well, you made him a good guy, and you made us all care about him.
Oh, that's amazing.
And even when you leave the show, you want to know what happened, more than what we were left with. Like, what happened to this guy whom we became attached to, as we did to Fanny during those few hours in the theater? Well, that's the magic part of theater, and then you with that great big voice, too, that sort of knocks it out of the box. And I bet he was not an easy character to develop. You had to really put a lot into this guy.
Yeah, it was a difficult process, but it's something because Beanie was so great to work alongside every day. And then you have people like Jane Lynch in the room and obviously Michael Mayer directing you. You kind of, every day I thought, okay, today it didn't work. Let's see what tomorrow brings. And it's the first time I try not to beat myself up or sprint for results. Every day I knew we had a long rehearsal process, a long technical process. So I thought, use the time and just see what happens organically. Every day me and Beanie would go over the scenes and new things would happen. And it took some time, and I would still find myself internally get frustrated with myself, but I kept having talks and just saying, give yourself grace, give yourself time. This will come. And I kind of want to always have that mentality, even because I think that's what will keep it fresh over the year or however long we're in the show. And right. Every night becomes its own unique interpretation of them.
Yeah, and I kept wondering, because we were in the pandemic, we're still in the pandemic, but it's a little bit different now. But the auditions and everything were probably over Zoom in the beginning.
Well, luckily I didn't.
Although you didn't have to do that.
No, and I've heard stories of people doing that, and my hat's off to them, because Zoom for me, I can't stand it anyways, because I love human contact, and also the line goes down, so I don't know how people did that, but it's amazing that we were able to do that to keep the industry going as best they could. And thankfully, here we are able to do it in the room live and have an audience now.
Right, and an audience that goes crazy.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can, because I was there. And they're talking about it at intermission, and they're all excited about it. But, theater's back, and theater, of course, is the heart of our town, and that's what draws people here, and we can't ever forget it. And Funny Girl is one of the great musicals. So we all are in love with the story and with everything in it. So,
And that's evident.
but your
You can see that.
family, yeah, but your family is still in London, right? Or did they move to New York?
No, they stayed
For
in
your
London
run.
because, as you know, with this industry, you never know what's around the corner. So
Exactly.
as a father, I'd rather keep my children and my wife in our family home before I'll see what happens in the next sort of like calendar year or whatnot before we think of uprooting our foundation. But England's our home. Whether I make
Right.
America a second home is yet to be seen.
That's
but
okay. You can.
yeah,
You can do both.
Yeah.
Did they come in for the opening?
my wife did. So she was here for the last 4 days, and sadly has returned back to England. But she loved it. She had a great time.
I bet. And New York was just waking up, and she was here for good things during a good part, which is great.
Yeah, it's good to see the city getting its identity back. We just need all the rest of the theaters filling up with shows and people, and get the spirit
starting.
back.
No,
Yeah,
it's starting,
absolutely.
and a lot of shows are opening again, and people are coming back to Times Square. So, and this show, this is one of my favorite shows. I love Funny Girl. It's got a great cast, and even if you saw it many, many years ago, this is different. And that's what you have to remember. Every time you see a Broadway show, you're seeing something new. And
Absolutely.
Funny Girls at the August Wilson. Congratulations to you. Enjoy the
Thank you.
run. And I look forward to talking to you again. Take care.
Thank you so much, Joan. Take care.
My pleasure. I'm Joan Hamburg, and you're listening to WABC. And of course, we have lots more ahead.
Hello, folks. Larry Kudlow here. Pay attention, because China is leading the largest anti-American alliance since World War II. One that's already dumped U.S. bonds, grabbed 43 million acres of our farmland, and is plotting to dethrone the dollar. That's why IRA and 401k savers are protecting their savings with gold. Please go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908 for your free gold guide on how to protect your wealth with gold 100% tax-free.